Alright, afternoon guys. Alright, CKN here, Clutch Kicker Nation, bringing you another quality video of Project Race Car. I mean, the videos I'm putting out are just pristine, but anyways, the car is not. So it's got a plethora of problems, so much that I'm just really stressed in making this deadline, but I keep ordering parts and I keep replacing what I'm finding that's broken, and I'm gonna try to get this car on the road. We are going drifting August 5th, one way or another, whether I have to beg, borrow, or steal someone's car, we are going drifting. So today, we're going to, in preparation for our new radiator, we're going to remove the old radiator. So, in case you don't know what a radiator is, it's the thing that coolant goes through to keep your motor cold. Well, not cold, but cool. It is very important in drifting, as heat is a very problematic thing when it comes to drifting because you're abusing the car so hard. Mine just out of nowhere, because it knows I'm trying to get it up and running, or maybe I just knocked into it by accident somehow. I don't know, but it started leaking from the seam, so I ordered a new one. So we're going to replace it. Alright guys, so on your S13, S14K dirt motor, as I say, this is a dirt motor. It's covered in dirt. It is filthy. Either way, air box has to come out. Fan shroud has to come out. Mechanical fan has to come out. So you got 4 10mm bolts on down here you got to take off. You get those well, they're actually nuts, but you get those nuts off, then you take the clutch fan off. Once you get the clutch fan off, you got to take your air box off, and then we got to get, drain the radiator, fan shroud, radiator hoses. Your 2 top mount brackets, which I already took off, one here and one here, got to come out. Most of the stuff is 10mm and a couple hose clamps. It's not a very complicated job. It's very simple. We're just going to go ahead and get her done. So, yeah, I'm going to keep on working. Saw that coming. This is the problem I'm having with everything on this car. It sat so long because I neglected it that everything is rusty.
I woke up pissed off today, and baby, everyone feels fake. Somewhere I lost a piece of me, smoking cigarettes on balconies. But I can't do this alone. Sometimes I just need a light. If I call you on the phone and you're on the other side, so when your tears fall down your pillow like a river, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. When you're screaming, but they only hear you whisper, I'll be loud for you. I'll be loud for you. I got your promise. Let me be honest. Love is a road that goes both ways. When your tears roll down your pillow like a river, I'll be there for you.
Alright, now that our clutch fan's out the way, we can go ahead and drain the radiator and then move forward to unhooking the radiator hose. Alright guys, when it comes to draining your radiator, you got 2 options. You can pull the lower radiator hose, or you can pull your pitcock. I'm going to use the pitcock because it's kind of difficult to get to where the radiator hose is on this vehicle. So basically you take a screwdriver, you stick it in this hole, and hopefully it breaks free. And then you unscrew it, and as you can see, coolant will start to come out of it. I gotta get me a little diverter thingy because my pan can't reach it because of the jack stand.
Last year took a toll on me, but I made it with you next to me. Around the world and back again. I hope you're waiting at the end, but I can't do this alone.
Alright guys, so you got your top radiator hose, got to come out, and then down here is your lower radiator hose. If you can see where my finger is. So this is rusty and it's giving me problems like the air intake was. So I sprayed it down. I'm kind of letting it sit. I doubt it's going to help, so I'm probably going to have to break this one too.
I'll be loud for you. I'll be loud for you. I got you, I promise. Let me be honest. Love is a road that goes both ways. When your tears roll down your pillow like a river, I'll be there for you. But you gotta be there for me too.
I probably should have mentioned that you should put your pitcock back in before you pull the radiator. But either way, she's out. Alright, well there you go. That's how you pull out your radiator. So now that that's out, we'll have to wait until our new one comes in. It should hopefully be here in a couple days. So Amazon, once again, don't let me down. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now, waiting on parts. So that's going to complete this short, quick video on how to pull your S13 radiator. And we'll continue it once I get parts. Alright guys, to be continued. What's up YouTube? Alright, to continue our video, here's our new radiator thanks to Amazon. I wish Amazon would sponsor me with as much parts as I purchase from them and everything like that, and how much I rely on their 2-day Prime shipping. It would be really nice, but I will say it is a godsend. I'm not sponsored by Amazon, but I will recommend that if you need things in a rush, Prime is just a great thing to have. I mean, usually most things I need, it can get here within 2 days, and that is just amazing. But either way, here's our new radiator. I hate that I had to buy it, but we got it. Alright, some other things that we're going to be doing today is our new coolant gauge. Alright, so this is nothing fancy. It's just a inexpensive coolant gauge that had decent reviews on Jegs and Amazon, so I went ahead and got it. Since we're doing a new radiator and I have the hoses off and everything, I had an adapter left over from my old race car. So we're going to put that in there along with our new gauge. So we're going to go ahead and do that and just knock out a few things. Alright guys, so we're going to finish up the radiator and everything like that today, but I just wanted to show you because if you watched my previous video of trying to install my steering wheel, you'll know that it was just, it didn't go well. Let's just say that. So I went to the hardware store, I went to Fastenal, another good place I like because they have really rare fasteners and pretty much anything you can need, they'll probably have it. So it's really handy when you're looking for metric sizes and stuff like that that Lowe's and Home Depot doesn't have. Either way, I will show you. I did finish my steering wheel install. Let me grab my light. Alright guys, there's my steering wheel all installed, and I have it set up the way I wanted it, where I can just pull it and pull it right off, and the splines get installed there, and then the quick release is on here. So that's how I wanted it. It's now installed. I like it. Feels good. Feels good. I can't wait to drift with it and try it out, but it's looking really nice in there, especially with the awesome interior. But yeah, so the steering wheel is now done, so that's a good thing. I'm glad that that's done. One less thing to worry about. I'm still waiting on my seat brackets. I had an email from Injuku saying that they're shipping from the manufacturer, and I'll get emailed an email when they actually get placed into the mail. Haven't got that yet. Hopefully they get here next week. But in the meantime, we got plenty of stuff to keep us busy, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this radiator. Alright guys, so here's our new radiator. It's practically the same, small differences, whatever. It's the cheapest one I could find. But either way, some differences I noticed is it needs some clips for the screws to hold the shroud on, which it did not seem to come with. And you need to reuse your rubber feet, which is pretty normal. So don't forget to put those on. And then because it doesn't have the bolts, I'm probably going to just zip tie this thing on here, because honestly it was practically zip tied on the old radiator anyways. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all situated and everything like that, and then we'll be pretty much to the point where we'll throw the lower radiator hose on, which will make it easier to install, because if we do it after we put the radiator in, it's kind of a pain. So I'll throw that on and then we'll put it in the car and modify the upper hose for our coolant adapter. Alright, so let me get some zip ties and get this taken care of. Alright guys, here's our new radiator with our fan shroud installed and everything. All I gotta do is just cut these zip ties and we're gonna throw this bad boy in. Got our dirty old radiator hose on there. I wish I could replace that, but it should be fine, hopefully. So yeah. Okay, once you have transferred all your stuff over to your radiator, you're going to basically try to finagle this thing back in here without messing it up and everything. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. And there we go. So now our new radiator's in. So now we're just gonna basically, I mean, it's reverse of when we removed it. We're gonna put our hoses back on. We're gonna put all our brackets back on, everything like that. And then I'll probably wait to fill it with coolant because I forgot to get some distilled water. So yeah, I gotta get some of that. But we'll get her in here and go from there. Alright, so for our upper radiator hose, this is where we're going to install our coolant adapter so we can monitor our coolant temps. So basically, here's our fancy coolant adapter, and basically it's just going to get installed in the hose somewhere, wherever we see fit, and that's going to allow us to monitor our coolant temps. So right here looks like probably the straightest section of hose where it'll be the easiest to do. So we'll probably do that. I would like to do it maybe here. That's a little close to the throttle, just because it doesn't mess with this protective cover. So yeah, so I'll get this hose modified to install our adapter, and then we'll have the hoses all done and be ready to move on to the next steps. Alright guys, so I did a couple quick cuts and there's our adapter installed. So basically all I did was cut out 1.5 inches or whatever of the hose, and now it's installed. There's still plenty of clearance behind it for the throttle and everything like that, so nothing to worry about that. It's stationary anyways. But yeah, so you know, there's no kinks, no issues like that. So we'll get a couple more hose clamps, and then I can wire this and run it under the intake manifold, and then down through the plug for the engine harness and into the cabin for the gauge. So I think that'll be the easiest route and keep it from having to run the wires all over the place. So yeah, we're gonna try that, and it should work out nicely. So yeah, there's that. That's all done. I'll get some clamps and clamp her down.
Running just to keep my hands on you. Running just to keep my hands on you. So running just to keep my hands on you. But you gotta be there for me too.
Alright, now that our 3 borrowed clamps from my Subaru are installed because I couldn't find any hose clamps, that's all done. I just got to tighten this one right here, and then put the top brackets on, and you can pretty much call the radiator installed, except for the fan clutch. Now I'm going to leave the fan clutch out right now because I want to install my power steering cooler, and it'll be a lot easier if I have access to that side of the radiator from the engine bay to attach the power steering cooler to the radiator, because that's probably where I'm going to install it. But yeah, so we'll get our top bracket mounts in, and yeah, we'll be about done. Uh-oh, we're missing one key ingredient. The radiator cap. Alright, now we got our radiator cap installed. Cannot forget our coolant hose. So we need that. This is for our overflow. Definitely need our overflow hose. Alright, so yeah, minus the clutch fan, which are our 4 10mm nuts and everything like that, and the airbox tube, which honestly, I could probably go ahead and put that in. I don't think that's going to impact us negatively. Actually, I'll wait until I get this power steering line in down here, if you can see that. Teach you a little bit here. So down here, the power steering pressure line goes up through here and stuff like that. to come up to the power steering, so I'll wait just because the intake tube's right there. So I'm gonna go get that and work on some stuff and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and close out this video here. I'm going to keep this as pretty much the radiator install removal. I have some, with the whole footage, I don't want to make this too long of a video. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up installing your radiator. It's pretty simple. It's not very hard and everything like that. Obviously, you just usually have to get all the parts and take them off and put them back on. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it helped you change your radiator in your S13, S14 chassis, drift car, drag car, whatever it is. Or even if you're not working on a 240SX, you can kind of see the things you need to do. Now there are some steps that I'm not going to include because I'm not actually going to finish by filling it full of coolant and getting it running. But note, use distilled water, so you don't have any mineral deposits and all that stuff being added to your cooling system. And 2, make sure you burp the cooling system. So basically, you'd start the car up. It's good to leave the front end jacked up if you don't have any bleeder screws or anything like that. That way you can have the radiator cap as your highest point, or use one of the radiator funnels to raise up, to allow you to get a higher level to get the air to rise to the highest point. You're going to start the car up with the radiator cap off, overflow cap off, fill it off, top it off, turn your heat on high, and just let it run until your thermostat opens and let it keep burping the air bubbles out. The better you do it in the first time, the less problems you're going to have down the road. If you do not burp your coolant properly, you can have overheating issues down the road. Now on the KA, there is a screw right here. If you can see that, this screw is a bleeder screw. You have to remove that when you burp your coolant. So you're going to remove that, leave your radiator cap off, and start the car and keep topping off fluid until all the air is out of the system. A lot of people tend to overlook that, but that is just something for you to note. So yeah, hopefully this has been a helpful video to you. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and stay tuned to more Project Race Car. I'm going to get back to work here, working on tomorrow's upload and everything like that, because I don't have much time left. But please like, subscribe, and you guys have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you August 5th. Later.